Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in agenda item D, which is moved to, I want to make sure, that's going to be at the end of the meeting for open public comment. The first part of public comment is to comment on the agenda items only. The open public comment is at the end of the agenda. All right, would everyone rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
President Taylor.
Present.
Vice President Crowder. Present. Secretary Robinson. Present. Treasurer Buchanan.
Present.
Trustee Wiley.
Present.
Trustee Bradley. Trustee Watson.
Present. All right, we have a quorum. If I can have a motion for the approval of the agenda.
Support.
So it's moved by trustee Watson, moved by trustee Seats, supported by trustee Watson. Any questions, comments, concerns before we call the roll? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor.
Yes.
Vice President Crowder. Yes. Secretary Robinson. Yes. Treasurer Buchanan. Trustee Wiley. Yes. Trustee Watson.
Yes.
All right, thank you. At this time, we have public comment on agenda items only. If members of the public have comments on agenda items only, please come to the mic. If not, the public comment will be at the end of tonight's meeting. All right. So may I have a motion for the approval of the minutes from March 3rd, 2020, work board session? We have a motion by Vice President Crowder. May I have a support?
Support.
Supported by trustee Watson. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding the approval of the minutes from March 3rd, 2020? Madam Secretary, call the roll.
President Taylor.
Yes.
Vice President Crowder. Yes. Secretary Robinson. Yes. Treasurer Buchanan.
Yes.
Trustee Wiley. Yes. Trustee Watson.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. At this time, we have a presentation from the principal of ACA, Mr. Fred Roseberg, concerning the Go IT program. Mr. Roseberg, you have the floor. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Frederick Roseberg, and I'm the middle school principal of the Arts and Communications Academy at Fairplay. I'm here today, humbled and honored to be the principal at ACA. We had our students, our 6th through 8th grade students, was able to participate in Whirlpool TCS Go IT program. This program is a national program that is offered in a few states, and our students make an app, and the students were able to complete that task, and they actually became Michigan's first school and Michigan's first state champions. Now, I guess I'm a little confused, but I'm thinking we start at 6 o'clock. I am so sorry.
That's all right.
And, I do have one of my students here. Come up. I'll allow you to give me an opportunity to introduce yourself. Oh, there's another.
So do you want us to wait? How many students do you have? I think on this team it's what, 3 or 4?
No, there's actually 12.
12, I'm sorry, I apologize. So I think we can just wait a second as the students come in. That way the students can be honored with their parents. So if we could, board, could we move this item to, before superintendent comments? That way we'll give the members of the Go IT program time enough to get in.
That's great. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
we'll call you right back up.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, so at this time, board business, the approval to go to one board meeting a month, staff report number 1. And I'll read it. So staff report number 1, subject one board meeting a month. Reason for board approval for the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education to approve going from 2 board meetings a month to 1. Board policy reference 064-1, bylaws and policies, facts and analysis. Policy states that the board should hold a meeting at least once a month on a date and time and place determined annually by a resolution of the board. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education votes to approve the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board meetings go from twice a month down to once a month. May I have a motion for staff report number 1? So moved by Vice President Crowder, supported by Treasurer Buchanan. Any questions, comments, concerns before we call staff report number 1? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
Yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Waleese,
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Staff report number 1 passes. Superintendent will go through staff report number 2, 3, and 4 that will allow the students to come in. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. The first thing I'd like to share is a request for the 7th and 8th grade students to visit Michigan State University. The board shall approve field trips and other district-sponsored trips with a plan to keep students out of district overnight or longer or out of state. The fact and analysis is that the Benton Harbor Area School 7th and 8th graders will make a trip to Michigan State University from May 27th to May 29th. This trip is to give students information on admissions, qualifications, and financial aid, along with seeing what campus life looks like. The board policy reference is 2340 under field and other district-sponsored trips. The recommendation is that Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education vote to approve this field trip to Michigan State University by the Benton Harbor Area School 8th grade class.
Thank you, Superintendent. May I have a motion for the approval of staff report number 2?
So
Moved by Vice President Crowder, supported by Trustee Watson. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding staff report number 2? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Waleese,
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
Staff report number 2 passes. Superintendent, staff report number 3, PBIS out-of-state field trips.
Yes, this is a request for PBIS out-of-state field trip for the 6th through 8th graders. The reason for board approval is that the board should approve this field trip and other district-sponsored trips that are planned to keep students out of the district overnight or longer or out of the state. The facts and analysis is that this is a PBIS trip to Strikes and Spares Entertainment Center for the 6th and 8th graders who put forth effort to behave positively and give their best academic performance. This also references board policy 2340 for field and other district sponsored trips. We recommend that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education vote to approve this field trip to the Strikes and Spares Entertainment Center in Mishawaka, Indiana for the 6th and 8th graders, students who qualify.
Thank you, Superintendent. May I have a motion for the approval of staff report number 3? Moved by trustee Denise Wiley Seats. May I have a second? Supported by Treasurer Buchanan. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding staff report number 3? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder, Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Wiley Six, yes. Trustee Watson,
Yes.
Staff report number 3 passes. Staff report number 4, Superintendent donations and grants.
Yes, this is the acceptance and acknowledgement of grants and donations to the Benton Harbor Area School. The Board of Education must approve and accept all grants and donations to the district. The policy references policy number 7230, gifts, grants, and requests. The facts and analysis that we'd like to acknowledge that Benton Harbor Area Schools received a $5,000 donation from Whirlpool for Team 1940 Robotics. Second, Benton Harbor Area Schools received a $12,896.45 grant from the Michigan Department of Education for a kindergarten through 2nd grade summer reading program. And last, Benton Harbor Area Schools received an $8,400 grant from the Michigan Department of Education for robotics, 4th and 5th graders, and 6th and 8th graders, as well as our high school. The recommended action is that the Benton Harbor Area School Board of Education gratefully acknowledge and accept the above donations to the district for the 2019-2020 school year.
Thank you, Superintendent. May I have a motion for staff report number 4?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Watson. May I have a support?
Yes. Support.
Supported by Vice President Crowder. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding staff report number 4? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
Yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Wiley Six,
Yes.
Trustee Watson,
Yes.
Staff report number 4 passes. Mr. Roseberg, do we have, our students present?
We do have 3 here, if we can.
No, we'll keep going and
Okay.
we'll call you in just a second.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so on to business and finance. Mr. Johnson, monthly financial reports.
Thank you. The reason for board consideration is the set of financial reports is provided to the Board of Education each month. Facts and analysis this evening, it's recommended that payments for all the district's funds be approved for January 2020. Policy reference is 6470, payment of claims. Recommended action is that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education vote to approve the January 2020 payments for the funds listed below.
Thank you. May I have a motion for the approval of staff report number 5? All right, so it's moved by Vice President Crowder, supported by Trustee Seats. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding staff report number 5? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
Yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Wiley Six,
Yes.
Trustee Watson,
Yes.
Staff report number 5 passes. But from IT, you're needed. Secretary Robbins, her computer is down. She needs to open if we can. Is that Bud up top? All right, so on to staff report number 6, Mosaic Lawn Service contract extension.
The reason for board consideration, the spring lawn cleanup and lawn mowing service will soon be needed on the Benton Harbor Area Schools grounds. Facts and analysis, the district issued a request for mowing service proposals in late March or early April of last year. The RFP states that this lawn mowing service contract may be renewed for up to 2 additional years if approved by the owner. If the contract is renewed, any price increases shall not exceed 3% per year for the season. Last week, the board member asked what Mosaic's lawn mowing service costs. A separate memo was prepared showing the bid price and the actual cost for last year. There was a pickup in terms of transmitting that information to the board, and I apologize for that. The cost last year was just over $93,000 for the entire mowing service for all the buildings, excluding the mowing of the high school football field. Another question was asked, how long does the district have Mosaic for lawn mowing service? The earliest payment on our general ledger was back in the spring of 2020, but that's about the time the district implemented a new general ledger package, so it's possible the service went back before that. The service, however, was not continuous for that entire period. It was a 6-year gap. And the lawn service was bid, as mentioned earlier. Recommended action this evening is that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education vote to renew the lawn mowing contract with Mosaic Property Services for the period April 1 through November 15 of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. May I have a motion for the approval of staff report number 6? Moved by Vice President Crowder. May I have support? Supported by Treasurer Buchanan. Any questions, comments, concerns before we call the roll? Mr. Watson.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, it's all. Mr. Johnson, you said that there was $93,000 for the mowing of all of the properties excluding the football field, correct? That is 4 buildings?
It's closer to,
4 buildings, 5 buildings, that's.
it includes our closed facilities. The full number was it's like approximately 20 properties.
Okay. And that's cut how often?
For the occupied buildings, it is more often than the unoccupied. For the occupied, I believe it's, like, we have to check the bid specs, I don't know right off.
Okay.
But for the closed buildings, it's maintained at 4 to 5 inches.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be happy to share this with you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought we discussed, did anyone have?
Grab the microphone, Mr.
There's someone else that has a business. I see quite a few people cutting grass in Ben Harbor. Do we have any, and it's Ben Harbor with a breath in my hand, but by there cutting the grass? Did anybody else apply?
I'd be happy to see if we received additional bids last year. This is the bid that was awarded last year.
So I would say, with that being said, I'd like to make a secondary motion to put this on hold until we find out. We can always bring this back in April. That way we do our due diligence and make sure that everything's accounted for correctly and everyone gets a fair shake. Is the board okay with that?
Yes.
All right. So Mr. Watson is supportive of this, and may I have a motion? All right. So the motion is to put the lawn mowing service contract on hold until we find out more information. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
Yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Watley C.
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Staff report number 7, the BHAS settlement. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. The reason for board consideration, the settlement agreement was recently negotiated with a vendor that previously provided security services in the Benton Harbor High School. Facts and analysis, the district purchased security services for the Benton Harbor High School from BSS Security Services an assumed name for ETV Corporation Incorporated until this past December. The contract with BSS expired last June and was not renewed. The district continued working with BSS, however, until December, at which time a district representative notified BSS of the district's intent to conclude BSS's services. After learning of the district's intent to terminate its services, BSS sought payment for several weeks beyond the date of service cessation. The settlement agreement proposed this evening includes payment for BSS services that will provide to the district up until the service cessation plans were communicated with BSS in December last year. There is no policy reference in the recommended action, except the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education vote to approve as presented the settlement agreement and release between BSS Security Services and assumed name for ETV Corporation Incorporated and the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. May I have a motion for the approval of staff report number 7? Moved by Treasurer Buchanan. May I have a support? Supported by Vice President Crowder. Questions, comments, concerns regarding staff report number 7? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
Yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Wiley Six,
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
Staff report number 7 passes. We'll keep moving. I see the principal is in the hallway, so staff report number 8, human resources.
Submitting for board consideration to approve the employment of staff in accordance with the revised student code and other general laws of Michigan. Crispin Ward, accountant at Central. DeJaris Coles White, speech language therapist in a part-time capacity. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education votes to approve the employment of the aforementioned staff.
Thank you. May I have a motion for the approval of staff report number 8? All right, so it's moved by Vice President Crowder, and I think I heard Trustee Seats. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding staff report number 8? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
Yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Wiley Six,
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
Staff report number 8 passes. Staff report number 9, approval of terminated or retired employees.
Submitting for board consideration to accept the resignation or retirement of the following staff. Patricia Robertson, Assistant Superintendent. Dorothy Neely, Teacher at Hall. Julia Clay, Teacher at FPE. Lenata Adinger, Principal at FPE. Lauren Burnett, Principal at Hall. Dustin Slavinsky, Principal at Dream. Will Bledsoe, Dean of Students. Thomas James, Director of Student Engagement, and Julie Reed, Teacher at DEC. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area School Board of Education vote to accept the resignation, retirement of the aforementioned staff members.
Thank you. May I have a motion for the approval of staff report number 9? Moved by Vice President Crowder, supported by Trustee Seats. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding staff report number 9? All right, Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
Yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Wiley Six,
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
Staff report number 9 passes. Staff report number 10.
Reasons for board consideration. For the school board to approve and establish employment for all professional staff. Facts and analysis during the Board of Education's board retreat held on July 13th in 2009. The board gave their approval to hire Scott Johnson as Benton Harbor Area Schools Chief Financial Officer beginning on July 15th, 2019. Mr. Johnson has been working since then without a contract, and the board is being asked to approve a 3-year contract with Mr. Johnson. Policy reference, 0122D, Board Powers. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education approve the 3-year contract with Scott Johnson, Chief Financial Officer.
Thank you. May I have a motion for the approval of staff report number 10? So moved by trustee Seats, supported by Vice President Crowder. Questions, comments, concerns before we call the roll? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
Yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Wiley Six,
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
Staff report number 10 passes. We'll go on to staff report number 11, approval of contract templates.
Facts and analysis using the templates for next year contracts will ensure that all employees will have the same information within their classification. Submitting for board consideration to approve the six contract templates presented. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education vote to approve the 6 new contract templates presented.
Thank you. May I have a motion for the approval of staff report number 11? Moved by trustee Watson, supported by Vice President Crowder. Questions, comments, concerns regarding staff report number 11? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder,
Yes.
Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Wiley Six,
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
Staff report number 11 passes. Staff report number 12, designations of anti-harassment compliance officers.
Reason for board consideration to approve the appointment of the anti-harassment compliance officers for policies 1662, 3362, 4362, 5517, and 5517.02. Policy reference is 1662, 3362, 4362, 5517, and 5517.2. Facts and analysis. Elizabeth Gale is the Executive Director of Human Resources, and we're asking that she be appointed as the Anti-Harassment Compliance Officer for policies 1662, 3362, and 4362. Infliator Nichols is the Student Affairs Officer and Title IX Coordinator for the district, and we recommend her to be the Anti-Harassment Compliance Officer for policies 5517 and 5517.02. Recommended action that the Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education vote to approve Elizabeth Gale and Creator Nichols as the Anti-Harassment Compliance Officers for Benton Harbor Area Schools.
Thank you. May I have a motion for staff report number 12? Moved by Treasurer Buchanan, supported by Trustee Watson. Questions, comments, concerns before we call the roll? Madam Secretary?
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder, Secretary Robinson, yes. Treasurer Buchanan,
Yes.
Trustee Wiley Six,
Yes.
Trustee Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
Staff report number 12 passes. Mr. Roseberg, if you would introduce the GoIT program again with your students and staff.
And again, thanks, board, for being so patient and understanding with our mix-up of the time. At this time, we're going to allow Mary Brown, one of our coaches, to speak. She will be introducing the other coaches as well as the team as I go up and get ready for that slideshow, okay? Ms. Brown.
Thank you for having us here tonight. We are very proud to be here because this is our Go IT team. We started this project out, not sure what it was, but it's a partnership between Tata Consulting Services and Whirlpool Corporation. And what we did is we were challenged to develop apps for our phones. Now, to me, that was like, whoa, but the kids grabbed this very quickly. And so our coaches, we coached our children through the very beginning of it. Then we had Whirlpool volunteers come in and work with us. And they're from their IT department. And they gave unlimited time and patience and support to our children. Mr. Clark joined us as one of our coaches. Ms. Johnson joined us, Ms. Tan joined us, and myself. And we had a competition here in our building at ACA, and we rocked it. And then we were challenged. We were challenged to go ahead and compete in the state of Michigan, and we rocked it. And we took it and we brought the prize home. So we're the #1 team in the state of Michigan for Go IT. But I don't know, we'll probably do this again in the fall, if the kids are working with Whirlpool to get this accomplished. So, this is just the beginning. And it's, you know, if you want to talk about STEM education, this is STEM in its finest. And so we're very proud to be able to partner with Tata and with Whirlpool and to make ACA #1.
All right.
And Mr. Roseberg is showing a little bit of a video up here of our kids at work. So thank you very much for allowing us to come tonight and present what we did, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
So if you guys would come across the stage, we have certificates for the students. I don't know, is it for the mentors as well on here? I don't know if it's just students, just students. So if our students would come on the stage, we'll give you your certificates. Don't be shy.
And we need to do the 57 AMPA, put this on TV. Our kids are doing great.
If the board would stand and shake their hands as they come past us.
So this is a Certificate of Achievement Award, first student, Nyla Bones, 2020 Go IT State Champion. Shania Palmer. Haley Kraft. Jaden Tackett. Kiana Brownlee. Tanacia Napier. Gary Poindexter. Alicia Mendoza. Jamarion Tunstall. Willie Matheson. Alicia Waters. And last, Tyra Lewis.
Mr. Roseberg.
So because we don't have a photographer, we're gonna work on that, get a director of communication. Can I have a volunteer to speak? Here we go, y'all. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Clap it up again for our 2020 state champions.
Any board members want to comment to our young people? Do you have any comments?
So you all seem to be a little bit timid and uncomfortable on stage, and I want you to know that what you've done is amazing. I know it's normal for you, so you may not understand the impact of what you've done, but I cannot do what you're doing. And I can guarantee that 98% of the people in this room can't do it. So I want you guys to understand that what you've accomplished is amazing. And I want you to walk with pride and understand that you have no reason to be ashamed. You should be very proud to be on stage right now.
That's right.
Talk about the applicants you guys did.
Okay, Kyra, you identified a problem. What problem did you identify in the community? Homeless people, that's right. Her team identified homeless people. So tell us what you did. What did you walk through the process?
Don't be shy, take
You
your
did a
time.
wonderful job.
Take your time, don't be shy.
We did research around here.
There you go.
And you found out, wait a minute, what'd you find out about homelessness? We found out that what caused the homelessness? Mental health.
And money.
Lack of money, mental health, and you directed people where to go to seek help, didn't you?
Yes.
Through an app that you developed on the phone.
Yes.
Beautiful, you did a fantastic job.
I know she is lost for words right now, but Kyra actually did an outstanding job presenting in front of the Whirlpool engineers at their research center to the point where they told her that she's going to be in public speaking. So I guess, yeah, so she told me today, I'm going to say something to her. I said, okay, whatever comes to your mind. But I just want to again to say that we're proud of everybody, our staff, our students. This is only the beginning of some of the great things you will see at HCA, and I want to say thank you.
So you guys did a great job. The first time we did this, I had a chance to be a judge. I didn't have a chance to come the second time, but I'm so proud of you. And I have this young lady at MLK for robotics, and look at you, you're still standing out, so you're growing in leaps and bounds. You guys keep doing what you're doing, right? Don't be afraid to stand up and speak out. Don't be afraid to do the work, because look what you did. You brought something here. Back home, you're the first in the state, so that's something you're gonna remember the rest of your life, all right? So I appreciate you guys so much. Keep up the work. I'll be there to help you if you need me anytime, all right? So I'm here. Congratulations. All right, at this time, we have old business. Any old business from the board? Any new business? All right, at this time, we have open public comment. If you have a comment, please come to the microphone. You have 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name and address. Anyone for public comment?
My name is Marvin Haywood, keeping it real radio, as always. I'm speaking on behalf of the students because as always, it is truly been about the kids. Quite some time ago, we had a lot of teachers from the whole school district that came and spoke on various things that were going on in regards to the school. And, you know, it's just time that change is necessary. You know, when it comes to our children, they are the most precious commodity that a community can have. You know, and I don't know any of you board members, I know a couple of them, but I don't know what your agenda is. But my agenda is about the kids, always has been, always will be. But as I was in this meeting tonight and I see that they cut the school board meeting down from 2 to 1, I don't understand why, but we have to get these parents involved. And one thing I know about parents, if they feel that they can trust you, they will go leaps and bounds to do what is necessary because it's about their children. We have a new superintendent. I'm in full agreement with him based on his credentials. And I think that the community will back him because it is about the kids. You know, we know that this school has been under attack for a long time. This didn't just happen overnight. You know, we have to have individuals that truly believe in these children, in these districts. You know, regardless of all of the circumstances and things that have been going on, we're gonna have to look past that. You know, 2020 is a new year. You know, I know a lot of the seats are up for grab this year in 2020. And so hopefully as we move forward, I ask that everybody let it be about these kids. You know, no agendas that are outside of what these children truly deserve. And that those children show that if these kids are given an opportunity, they can excel at anything they want to in the city of Benton Harbor. You know, regardless of the circumstances. You know, I was talking to a young man that was 16, and I asked him why he quit school. And he said that every year was so many different changes going on, you know, in the school district. And a lot of people feel the same way. But it's a lot of people that want to come back to this district that want to truly come back and be a part of this great program. And I'm just asking that everybody give a hand on the superintendent. You know, I know there's a lot of change that has to be made in order to correct some things, but those kids showed me what this district was all about. Because there was a time when we had trade classes. This was the envy of the world. Benton Harbor, anybody that comes from Benton Harbor know. Skills Center, Tech Center, you know, foreign language, all of those things that was taken out, that these kids have been denied. And we have to get back to being in-house again. You know, and that's just one of the things that I really want to speak on because it's being real, it's the 21st century. And our kids 20 years behind. We have to put them 20 years ahead. You know, we have to ask for something. And if it takes me getting $1 million to actually institute some of those programs, like years ago, I got money for them to put smart boards in our classroom, they never materialized. And so if I have to go around my elbow to get to my thumb and get whatever money is needed to secure this district, I will do that. I will personally go talk to people in positions of power because it's truly just about the kids. And that's just it.
Thank you, Mr. Haywood. Anyone else for public comment?
Evening, everybody.
Mr. Buchanan.
I do know a few of y'all. I've been with y'all a long time. President Taylor, Mr. Buchanan, Mr. Watson. It's been a wonderful time with you guys. But I know y'all all about achieving these things for these kids. I'd like to say that you school board members, y'all did a good job picking the superintendent. There's been some recent problems in the city. You know, there's been a big storm, hell raising. And there's been another incident with the school. But this superintendent right here, he weathered the storm. A lot of people didn't think that he would do anything about it, comment on anything. The superintendent said that he was gonna hold this person accountable, but then she resigned. That was a question that the community was gonna raise. You did that by saying the words you said. You weathered the storm. You also said they also wanted to be an investigation. You said it's gonna be an investigation. You know, the court is gonna investigate, and that you yourself, you're gonna put a new system in place to make sure it don't happen again. Now, that is something, ladies and gentlemen, that has not been did in a long time with our president, superintendent before. And that's why I said, when they picked you, they made you out of gold. And we hoping that you do what you do. Now, me, myself, and Commissioner Ron Singleton, we got a new program. It's a athletic sports club. We're gonna have a big event going down on Main Street. And it's very important that these kids in this high school, junior high, and other systems, kids will be able to understand about the behavior, the way things are gonna be done. Also, we was hoping, and I do believe we will, we talk with the city manager, we'll be working with the superintendent on a lot of things for the youth. But again, you yourself, but these are kind words in the newspaper, weather a storm. There's gonna be about 20 people here tonight, and I want to come down because they read what you said. I appreciate it. God bless you, man. I know you're young, ambitious. You said you got 4 years. I know you're gonna do it in 4 years. You may do it in less. Another great guy that I'm pretty sure that you will work with, he used to be a principal, now a triplet. Now a triplet is in your system. I heard he was substitute. That young man can also weather a storm, but I saw him do it. And I can say, Mr. President, and the rest of the school board members, I thank you for picking this young man to lead the way, the new chief. God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, Madam.
My name is Lavona Gillespie. My address is 226 Bishop. This might take a little bit longer than 3 minutes, and I'm sorry. On March the 3rd, I had a teacher come to my bus, and she told me, she said, "Grandma, your son tried to hit a little girl with a stool today." And I asked him, I said, "Grandson, what happened? Why would you try to hit this young lady? Like, what's wrong? You know, we need to get this together. You know, you have issues. What's the matter?" He told me, he said, "Nana, the girl kicked me in my private part." I said, "Wait a minute, hold up. Go get the teacher. Go get her, because she didn't just tell me this. She told me that you tried to hit this baby with a stool." So I get off my bus and I talk to this woman, and I said, "Miss Neely, what happened?" She said, "Oh, Grandma, I don't know if that all happened because he was out of place. He wasn't where he needed to be, but we're gonna look at the cameras and I'll get back with you." Okay, fine. Now, mind you, I'm a bus driver at her school. Everybody know if he got a problem, you come talk to me, because his mother works too hard to have to keep getting these phone calls. And I tell her, I said, "Well, okay, I'm gonna wait for you to get back with me and let me know what happened so you can write this up." Well, she never did. Friday, I'm getting ready for my night job, and I get an email that says, "Open this." I open this, and I see her whole class beating up on my grandson. And he looks at his teacher And he asked her, is you gonna do something? And she replies, that's right, y'all protect y'all class. Now, first off, she's a teacher for the state of Michigan. She's mandated by law to protect these kids by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like I told them yesterday, it's not about what you don't like and what you do like. You like these kids because they're yours. And they see me before they see you, and they minds. Every single one of them, every 100 of them that rides my bus. So for her to get up there and tell me that you don't know what's happening in your classroom, but you're the main problem in this classroom, I don't understand. I don't understand because the principal know who I am, these teachers know who I am, because I have 2 grandkids that go here. I have a daughter that goes to ACA, and I'm also her bus driver, and I also stepped in and I let them know. If you got a problem, you don't give second chances. You call me. Because you know why? I'm a product of Ben Hardy Early Schools, class of 94. And we got this. And like I told the superintendent yesterday, it's about loving these kids.
That's right.
Because when we was in elementary, we taught kids. If you couldn't pass reading and writing, adding, subtracting, you didn't go to the next grade. No child left behind. They left you behind because you had to get it to learn it. And that's why we are where we are. But at the end of the day, when you hire your new batch of kids, well, they're kids to you because you're their dad. You have to protect your workers. You have to tell these people, if you're not here to love these kids, because you can't come for a paycheck.
That's right.
Because you get a paycheck at the unemployment line, which they qualify for every day for all the foulness that they're doing. You get a paycheck at the disability office that you're probably going to go and apply for in a minute. So at the end of the day, when they come up in this district, that's why we're failing, because these teachers have failed us. That's why our kids can't pass the state test, because these teachers will not stay back and say, let me help you get it. You might be dyslexic. You getting it backwards. Show me what you need me to help you with. A lot of these kids have issues at home that they run from every day, and they run to the schools, to these teachers to help them. And they turn their back on them. And you wonder why we look on the news and we see all this violence in the school, because they begging their teachers for help, and the teachers laughing in their face and blowing them off. It's unacceptable for not just me, not just my family, but for every kid from K through 12 in this district. And if the district closes these schools, what they're going to do? They're going to follow Coloma rules. They're going to follow Waterville rules. They're going to follow St. Joe rules. Because you know what? They're not going to take nothing less than courage. And you should take nothing less than courage out of everybody. From your staff, from these principals, from these teachers, from these kids.
That's
And
right.
if you stand up above the church staff and make sure they're doing their job, I promise you, you will see a better school district in your house.
My name is Harold Hampton, 815 Pipestone. I just want to say to our new superintendent, to our school board, and to all the parents, and to all those who are here tonight, send a message that it's a new day in Ben Harbor. I remember Dr. King said these words: when you get behind in a race, the only way you can catch up is run faster than the people that are in front of you. I believe that the Creator has allowed this board, this superintendent, our new high school principal, I believe God has allowed this day to happen so we can all come together so we can save our children.
All right now.
Too much has been put in to what can be done. We saw tonight, our children showed us tonight what can happen. Denzel Washington said it like this: sometimes how far a child goes in life depends on who's looking over his shoulder. I'm saying to every one of us, let's look over our children's shoulder. Help them to be what they want to be and what they ought to be. And this takes involved participants and not detached spectators. God bless all of us.
Thank you, Mr. Hanson. Anyone else for public comment?
My name is Dante Tyler. I just want to know if I can ask the board one question. What's the point of these cameras?
That's we don't normally answer those questions, but,
Why not?
well, because board members don't answer questions. Like, we let you write the questions down and then we send the answer back so that we know for a fact we have the right answer. And I think the last superintendent, they probably put those cameras in the classrooms that they started it. So I couldn't answer that.
So nobody watches them? Anything go on in these classes, nobody paying attention?
That's a good question.
Can I get a good answer?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I have to figure that out, and we gotta give that question back to the superintendent and his staff. As I said before, the board, we don't know about the cameras. Just in July, we were not even empowered, so we didn't have, we didn't make that as far as putting cameras into the classroom.
Yes, you do.
Well, I'm just being honest with you, sir.
How you doing? I'm at Anthony Bell upstairs at 8 High. My daughter attended this leading class also. Well, about 3 weeks ago, I went to the principal because not the students bullying, but Miss Mimi bullied my daughter. Not the teachers, not the students, I mean, Miss Mimi bullying my daughter. Talk about her clothes, talk about how she dressed. We talking about a student that scored high on the national average. We ain't talking about no D&F student. We talking about, her name is Samantha Bell. Look it up. It made me so mad. I wasn't gonna say nothing. But it hurts me to see that little young man getting hit like that. That hurt me bad, because we went to the principal 3 weeks prior. 3 weeks prior. Emailed her, check her email. February 11th, I emailed her and explained everything that Miss Mimi did to my daughter. Emailed her. You know what she did? Went behind my back with another parent and talked about my daughter with another parent. That could have put my daughter in danger. She could have killed my daughter, the other woman could. And then y'all retire her, but she get a pension? What kind of mess is that? Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Every one of y'all should be ashamed of yourself. You know why? Y'all let her retire, but she get a pension. And that's how she did our kids.
On their behalf, I must let y'all know this. When it's foul play in the police station, they lose their pension. They don't get that money. She did foul play. She fouled out these babies. Y'all let her go and say she's tired. She's tired of getting up at 5 in the morning, fixing coffee. She's tired of fixing her hair. What about our babies? She get to get that check that I was telling you about, that she get to sit at home and wait to come in the mail. She got that. Because y'all let her put her name on that piece of paper. And just so you know, it ain't fair. It ain't fair to her. It ain't fair to his dad who just asked y'all that question. It's not fair. But if y'all could get her up here and let her explain her actions to why she felt like she needed to bully a 7-year-old kid. Why she needed to talk about a 10-year-old girl. Why? Why? That's all we want to know is why.
Anyone else for a public comment?
Hi, I'm Columbia Boyle A. Lincoln. I'm here, I've listened to a lot of the comments and things like that. I'm elated that we have a new superintendent, but we have to start holding ourselves accountable. Right. This one man, I appreciate you being here, but this one man can't just change our whole city and our community and our school system by himself. So we have to start holding ourselves accountable and start stepping up. Friday night, it was a party. He had 2 different locations and the party was packed in both locations. It should be more parents here. We shouldn't always be running to a meeting just when something big is happening. We should be at these meetings every second Tuesday of the month. So he can start having changes made because he can't do it by himself. That's right. And for us to all just, the superintendent, we want you to do this, we want you to do this. We gotta want ourselves to do something too. All right. There's no way, there's so many parents in this school, there's so much talent in this city, that parents, we can start coming. I walked up to the office and started my own program. I didn't come to the board, I went and talked to the office. How do I start a program in the school so I can help? If we all did that, that'd be 10 different programs in the school for the kids. We can't put everything on the board and on the superintendent. The community, we have to step up too. I mean, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink it. So he can do all he wants to do and all he can do to help, but at the same time, we still have to do our part. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else for a public comment? All right, superintendent comments?
Yes, I want to start by first saying, it is a new day in kindergarten. There's going to be high expectation and high accountability, period. We're going to set the bar for achievement. We're going to meet that bar. We're going to exceed that bar. We're going to raise that bar. Change is a process. It's not an event. It will take time. We will put systems in place, multi-tiered systems of support for academics, behavior, and social and emotional learning. I was upset when I saw that video myself. I also have an 8-year-old son in the 2nd grade, and I saw him in it. It's unacceptable. Moving forward, I expect it to never happen again. We're going to train and put a professional development plan in place and implement that plan. And we're going to make sure it's done with true fidelity. That's what's going to happen. Additionally, some more comments. So at Hull, we have a special education teacher, Miss Latasha Hegler-Thomas, who was nominated for the Barry and Risa Special Education Parent Advisory Committee for the Excellence in Education Award. Ms. Hegler-Thomas was identified as a nominee for her outstanding work with students in a variety of educational settings and for playing a vital role in educating and supporting students with impairments. All nominees are being recognized at tonight's award banquet. We wish her luck as she's a finalist who could win the overall award. I want to shout out all of our winter sports. And additionally, our boys basketball team, they're in the semifinals for districts tomorrow, hosted by Holland Christian of the Holland Civic Place. If they win, they will play Friday for the district championship. And if they win the district championship, they will play in Grand Rapids for the regionals. We have a teacher mentorship framework and a plan is being implemented. New teachers and teachers in training have received a mentor support. We want to thank the Benton Harbor Education Foundation for funding this endeavor. We have a Tiger Tutors program. We will be starting on March 16th, 2020. Over 30 Benton Harbor area school employees applied to become mentors. Tier 1 of the program will run until state testing in April. The program has been geared to support students and literacy and to reduce the number of students who may be identified for third grade retention. Thank you to the Benton Harbor Education Foundation for funding their efforts and continued support. The Benton Harbor Area School District will be receiving a check for $26,788, which is overpayment of premium this week from Meadowbrook, and that's our workers' compensation carrier. And last for my comment, Kelly J. Baptist debut middle grade novel called Isaiah Dunn is My Hero was recently selected as a finalist for the Book Expo of America's famed BHAS panels. Social and emotional learning interventionist is what she does at the Arts and Communications Academy. She dedicated Isaiah Dunn as My Hero to the students of the Benton Harbor Area School District. That concludes superintendent comments.
Thank you, Superintendent. On to board comments. We'll start with Mr. Watson first.
Thank you, President Taylor. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the OIT students on their achievement. As Secretary Robinson said, it is something that you've done that is you're the first. So you should stand and applaud your own self and toot your horn for being the first to do it. I heard a lot of what the comments that were said by the parents and what was going on relative to what went on this past week at Hall School. One of the things that I will say from my seat is that I'm committed to making sure that all students in this district are treated fairly and have a quality education. We have to be diligent in allowing the superintendent to do the job that he was hired to do. Here's a man that's been on the job for 3 weeks, and this windstorm hits him, and he acted swiftly and he acted very forthright. What I would ask the community to do is to trust the process, that he will get the job done, and that the board will stand behind him to make sure that he gets the job done. There's a lot of things that are going on that this board and the superintendent have inherited, but we are committed to making sure that we do what is necessary to give every student in this district a quality education, make sure that they're safe, and make sure that every parent has a degree of trust in the district. So I say from my seat, I'm committed to making sure that this does not go away, and that you will see justice, and you will see what's necessary to be done to make sure that your child gets what's necessary to get to come full circle, to be made whole. So thank you.
Mr. Bradley.
Good evening, everyone. Members of the public, thank you for coming out to the meeting tonight. I want to say I saw the video Friday and I got with the board president right away per board protocols, so he could forward that to the superintendent. I was very appalled at what I saw, and just know that we as a board are committed to making sure that we can get this process solved, and the superintendent is doing his best to what we can do. I do want to say this, change is a marathon, not a sprint. We've had a lot of problems. Marathons take time. Some changes you will see right away. Some changes you won't see right away, but change is a marathon. So I do want to let you all know that. And I'm looking forward to making sure that we get this solved and making sure that we don't have any more issues of this nature. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Seats.
Thank you, President Taylor. And thank the community for coming out this evening. We really appreciate you being here. any other community people that you would, think would need to be here, because you do need to be here. As Apollonia Williams was saying, community has to get behind. We are here committed, I'm committed, and I know the rest of these board members are committed to ensuring that our students get the best quality education that they can, also ensuring that they are protected. They need to be protected, and we need to make sure that that is happening in our community. And I just want to say thank you all, to each of you, for coming out here and listening, and we are committed to this district. Thank you.
Thank you, Treasurer Buchanan.
Again, I would like to echo her sentiment. We're glad to see you out here. And what Apollonia said, I've been out to have sports. Now, I got a picture right here. You can't see it, but in 1980, my boys in 79, I was working at the school, but I was involved. The boys won state, and the girls won state. I don't know if any of you can remember that. And every time that we had Clint Porter, a lot of those young people in the gym. Now, we need a feeder program for our kids. Our young girls, by the time they learn the game, season's over. I was at a game this year. They were playing St. Joe, and the score was 22-0. So as all the people come up, we know you care about the kids. I'm gonna get ready for the Blossom Parade. I went in the last year in the kids parade. But do something with that. I said, go in the building unexpected. And you'll find out the teachers, they ain't done something, demand it. We don't have sewing class, cookie class, shop, none of that, landscaping. Everybody ain't gonna be no lawyer or doctor. As a community, you deserve to let your voice be heard by showing up and say, I want this back in school, I want this. That's what you have to do. Education is very important. I got a 6-year-old granddaughter, and she's, Grandma, you don't know that word? I really wasn't looking at it. She said, Grandma, that's post. I said, oh, how you spell it? P-O-S-T. I said, oh, Grandma, I'm sorry. And she went to I'm a great-grandma, to her granny. You know, Grandma didn't know how to spell post. But I did. I was just seeing what her reaction gonna be. You got to get involved. When they come home in the afternoon, ask your kid, what happened at school? Like Reverend Hampton said, and Mom and Edward, Close Chicago. You got a right to do what you have to do. Our kids should be back home. Yeah, so you don't want them kids over there. They need to be back in the house. And you demand some good teaching. You got to show up and show out and let them know. And superintendent, right away we came in, and the principal, I know it's better than high school. They were running out the lunchroom with food in their hand, hollering and screaming. You got, as parents, you need to come up here. Right. One parent said, I get tired of school calling me. Well, at your house, I had 3 kids and been out of school graduated. Ed Buchanan was one, Tim Buchanan, and Dolores. His mom, I said, You are the student, and that's the teacher. So you got parents that are afraid of their own kids. I've seen it this year. So what I'm saying, as a whole been out, Sam Cooke is saying a song, Change Gonna Come. It's coming. We got to get together and love one another. Right. And stop being jealous hard of each other. Right. And our kids will grow. With that being said, next week, I want 45 little kids. I'm gonna get practice at McCoy, and my big kids and little kids both. I got 2 teams. One for the kids parade, one for the Blossom Parade. So when they come show up, all you need to do is drop them off. And if you're post, it's gonna be on email. Everybody got Facebook for me, but I can have somebody put it on there. Put it on Facebook, and you will see it. Cause I can't. Let them see how to do stuff. Some of these parents take their kids to Walmart. Thank you very much. Keep coming, and supporting our principal, our superintendent. And Mr. Taylor, you done a great job. Ms. Robinson, you came in blasted. Thank you for that. See, it made me feel good. This young lady used to be in my group when she was little. So what we got to do is we got to lift each other up and keep playing the book. Because he hears all and he sees all. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Robbins.
So I want to begin by thanking each of you for joining us this evening. This is only my second board meeting. This is the most people that I've seen present. However, I would like to encourage you to continue to attend and not just be present when there's something wrong, because we are listening. There was a gentleman that stated, I believe it was you were unaware of what our agendas were for being on the board, and I want to let you know that my agenda is to be here because I love the kids. And my priority is to ensure that Benton Harbor area schools becomes one of the #1 districts in the area, because when I graduated in 2003, and Ms. Williams is aware of this, we were one of the best districts in this area. And so that's my goal, is for us to get there ultimately. I know, as Superintendent Townsend said, it's gonna take change, and it's not gonna be something that's gonna be swift, but he is dedicated to ensuring that our district gets where it needs to be. All of our board members are dedicated, and I want to ensure you that as your secretary, I'm dedicated as well. There were a lot of people that were frustrated and shared experiences with the schools that you had. Those were things that I'm learning of. One thing I will say is that if you feel like your issues are not being addressed at your school, don't stop with the level of authority there. We want you here at the board meetings. We want you to share the issues and concerns that you have. Posting it on social media is not informing us of those issues. So you want to make sure that those issues are getting where they can actually be resolved, and that we're hearing them. So we thank you. We appreciate your presence, and I want to assure you that I love each of your kids as if they were my own, and that's why we are here. So please continue to come and share your issues and your grievances, your good and your bad. We are listening and we do care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Carter.
Well, I'm normally quiet, I don't like to say too much. They're looking at me, but really I am. But, I taught for 35 years in the school district, and I retired, and here I am sitting up here on the board. I was shocked to see myself up here, but, a lot of teachers wanted me to come up and have their voice, and so I've been trying to do that all year, been here since May. But things are different now. Things were different when I was teaching. There was a lot of respect in the classrooms. And that's one thing we're missing as students. Having respect for each other, having respect for your elders, and for the teachers to have respect for your students. All of our students are important. We have to show them love. We have to let them know that we're here for them. And if it wasn't for students, we wouldn't have a job. So I don't see how you can not take care of a child who's having a problem. So thank you for coming out tonight.
All right, thank you. And to the parents and grandparents of the child that was bullied, my sincere apologies go out. When I saw the video, it was very distasteful, because, you know, you shouldn't show things like that about a minor. That's really against the law. And it's things that we don't do because you have to have permission. So we shouldn't do that. That's a bad life for the child. So I hope the child is well. I wish the family well, the mother, the father, the grandparent. Sometimes when people are frustrated, they don't understand that there is a process, right? Even when a person does something wrong. So we still always have to follow the rules and regulations of the law of the state of Michigan and of the internal policies of the Board of Education. And as Mr. Watson stated, justice will be served. It's a new day, a new way. We're not about to let anyone get disrespected. I was also disgusted at the students' actions, right? So we have to really teach our students too that they cannot harm another student, right? There are laws in the state of Michigan, there are bully laws in our policies. It's a Michigan compiled law, state law. So these are the things that we got to ensure in our students, to treat each other with respect and dignity. Our teachers also have to make sure that they're treating our students with respect and dignity as well. So to the community, we're here to work for you. As the Secretary Robinson said, she stated, you know, we need you guys to show up. Because when you look at other board meetings across the cities, you have members of the community there, right? Because we don't know your wishes. We need to hear from you. And when you cannot get resolved at your school, then there's a complaint process that you guys need to follow. File a complaint on the teacher. right? File a complaint on the principal, whoever that may be. And then that complaint goes up to the superintendent, and then if that's not resolved, it goes to the board, right? So we could solve these items with you guys, and once again, we thank you guys for coming. We hate when things like this happen, especially to a child. I was looking at that video and I was thinking of my kindergartner grandson, right? And if that happened to him, how I would feel. So that's why I allow people to talk, because I know emotions were high and I feel their feelings, and I hope they know that we care and we're here to serve. With that being said, may I have a motion to close tonight's meeting? Moved by Mr. Watson, supported by Treasurer Buchanan. Madam Secretary, call the vote.
President Taylor,
Yes.
Vice President Crowder, Secretary Robinson Jeffs, Treasurer Buchanan,
Yeah.
Trustee Wiley Six, Trustee Bradley,
Yes.
Trustee Watson.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned at 6:54.